Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to Hunter Tune. Today we're going to work on a EG hatch with a B18B LS. I think it's a B. Yeah. B18A, B18B, non-vtec B series, 1.8 liter with a turbo kit. And yeah, we're going to tune it on Hondata S300. It's got RC 750 injectors. Pretty clean setup, tile wastegate, cast log manifold, and a Garrett small-ish turbo. I don't know exactly what turbo it is, but it looks like proper size for this engine. I think that this car should make some pretty good power. You have a good power band, you know, etc. That's one kind of common mistake that people make a lot of times, is they over turbo their car. And they put too big of a turbo on it, and then they don't have much power band to use. So I think personally, if you can get the smallest turbo for your power goal, you're gonna have the broadest power range. So, and that's typically gonna make you go faster and everything like that. Or you can over turbo your single cam, like this guy. Just kidding. Where you been, Michael? Around. Yeah. Well, Michael came out today, and anyways, we're gonna tackle this thing today. It's a pretty, like I said, it's a pretty clean setup. It even has an oil cooler on it. I don't think I've ever put an oil cooler on a B series in my life, but this one's got one. He's going to autocross it. It's got BC coilovers, RPF 1s, and it's a pretty clean EG hatch. I really actually kind of dig this thing. Simple, but put together pretty good, it seems. 4-bar speed factory map sensor, tile gate, all custom intercooler piping here from Silver Lake Speed Shop. If you guys ever look those guys up, it seems like they do a pretty good job. Bumper fits real good. I mean, this thing's pretty cool. So we're gonna dive in. I checked the coolant, it's full. Checked the oil, it's full. And we pulled the plugs out, and it has NGK 4554s, which are the 8s. And they'll work. I'd probably run 7s in this setup, but 8s will do fine. So pulled them out, might whiz wheel them, clean them up a little bit, check the gap, throw them back in, and then we'll get to tuning on Hondata. All right, so we got the sparkulators all back in. I took them to the cheek poker, got them cleaned up, and we gapped them down to 18 thou, which is what I run pretty much on all these things. Little 3.6 Mafia action, better turn that down. So anyways, we pulled up the file here, and I noticed that the car has a 4-bar map sensor on it. But when I pulled the tune file off of the computer, for one, we have to redo this timing map, because this is not how it should be. 15 pounds of boost running 40 degrees of timing. You hear that, Michael?
What?
15 pounds of boost on the timing map is at 40 degrees of timing.
That's not good.
Are we running M1 in this thing or what?
Good.
Then we might be able to run 40 degrees. But right now, we got to change this up. Make it a little better. Actually, that's on the VTEC side and the non-VTEC side. So, got to make sure that that's all good. This is super low timing cruising too. So we got to probably add some timing in cruising so this thing gets a little bit more of efficient burn cruising around. But first we got to change this map sensor here to a 4-bar, because like I said, it's currently set up as a stock one. So I'm gonna type in Honda Omni 4-bar here. We'll hit upload. No other change. We'll get this thing fired up. Make sure we ain't got no check engine light. He said he had a VTEC check engine light, which is kind of weird. There we are. Turn on the data log here. Make sure that we have a proper reading on the map sensor, which we do. We'll calibrate the TPS as well. So we'll go through. We'll start logging here so we can read, and then floor it, read again, and then we'll upload that change. We'll go to display. Now we're going 0 to 100 real quick. That's all good. Map sensor's reading good. Now we'll go through, I'll get the map cleaned up a little bit, we'll set the ignition timing, and then we'll do some rips. Another thing here, closed loop was actually enabled with the stock sensor narrowband. Don't usually ever want to run the stock Honda O2 sensor with a turbo car. They don't really work. If anything, you can just run it closed loop with the wideband if you want, but typically when I tune these things, you can set up temperature corrections and stuff to make sure that it doesn't really even need. It can just run an open loop all the time. So closed loop's disabled now. Boost cut's at 9 pounds. You can probably set that at like 15. He said he was running into boost cut before, so set that at 15. Our cold cut combo we'll put at 4. And then doesn't have a boost controller on it. We got that. And then our temperature corrections are probably pretty close already. This car was street tuned before it came in, but like I said, this timing stuff we're definitely gonna have to figure out on the timing map here. Gotta clean that up for sure. So pick up the all in a minute. I'm gonna set the ignition timing here, so we'll go to options, and then or we'll go to online and then set timing 16. We'll shoot it with a light, see where it's at. Shoot for top dead center. It's right there. Didn't even have to play with it. So now we are getting the gear ratio for the dyno setup, so our tach read's accurate on the dyno. We're gonna set our endpoint here, and then we'll maybe do a baseline with what's in there once I clean up that one section of timing, just to kind of see where this thing's at. He said it was boost cutting, but had it not been boost cutting, we'll see where it's at right now. Unless it's like super dangerous, I'll get out of it, but I'd like to get a baseline and, you know, see what we can do with this thing. Well, we got we're cruising here 30 miles an hour, 11.5 air fuel. So she's pretty rich. I fixed that little timing thing. I kind of want to see where it's at as a baseline and go from there. Want to film up there.
And 400 and some foot-pounds of torque.
Yeah, that's not right. Tach must be off still. I fucking reset it. So here we are. This is the baseline on the car. It runs pretty good wide open, but everywhere else is really rich. So we did make 276 horsepower, 260 foot-pounds of torque. This is on a little over 10 pounds of boost, and pretty low ignition timing. We might try a little bit of ignition in it, clean up the cruising, clean up the timing at cruising, just try to clean it up a little bit more, and I'll pick up with you on the next pull. I'm just going to run through the map a little bit more. And also another thing I did was I turned the boost cut up to 15 instead of having it at 8, which it's running 10 pounds, so that's why it was hitting the boost cut. The gate is set higher than what the cut was. So we'll pick up with y'all in a minute. When I get this thing dialed in, we'll do another rip. Alright, so I did fix up the timing map a little bit, and instead of what this thing was on, around 16 or 18 degrees of timing, we're going to try 21 and see what it does. 20 degrees, see if it picks up at all. Yeah, and then I'm going to run through the fuel map quick and do a rip. so that run I did put like 2 degrees of timing in it. It lost about a pound of boost because the timing, when you optimize it, a lot of times you cut down on the boost and it cuts down on the restriction of the boost track. And we picked up power by losing boost. So here we are, made 285 horsepower, 276 foot-pounds of torque. We could probably crest 300 with a little T, I'm thinking. Might try a little bit of a T in the wastegate line because there is no boost controller on this car. We might try that quick, crack that 300 number, and this thing's dialed. I got it cruising better. Got the wide open stuff cleaned up, and she's a lot happier. And this thing runs pretty good. Pretty nice to work on something and just actually tune it. All right, guys, so we just put a T in the line of the wastegate because there's no boost controller on the car. Maybe just crest that 300 wheel mark. And I put a YT in it. So this should only give us maybe a pound or two, depending on which way we position the T. Going this way, it's a lot harder for it to escape out this, but if we flipped it, and this was easier for the vacuum or the boost to escape out of, we would make even more boost. So depending on which way you put the T determines, or that's not a T, it's a Y. If you had a normal T, this wouldn't be relevant, but the Y is all I got laying around. So we're gonna try it, see if it makes any difference. All right, guys, so that was like 11 or 12 pounds of boost. We did crack 300. We made, 309, 310. Picked up everywhere. Hell yeah, brother. All right, guys, we're, since there's actually quite a few people on my last couple of videos and they're like, hey man, we want to see some street action of these cars you dyno tune. Well, fine, I guess we'll do that. I actually asked the customer, I said, hey, is it all right if we take the car out for a little ride around the block just to kind of show the viewers what the car is all about? This is a 300 wheel horsepower B18. So we'll do a little rip for you guys. Second gear pull. Certified ripper. All right, guys, so EG hatch, all good to go. 300 wheel horsepower and great suspension setup on it. It's got BC coilovers, good tires. It just shits and gets. It's a great street car. Me and Michael were actually just talking about how fun it is just because it's, you know, it's torquey. It's got a big power band. It's fun. So don't oversize your turbo. Don't do it. But anyways, have a great night and a better tomorrow, guys. Me and Michael are out of here.
See ya.